Here we go again.
There was quite a bit of leprosy in the Middle Ages, but then in the 1500s, King Henry VIII, he's the one who had the 6 wives. Do you know about him? Yeah. Right, well, I'll tell you a little bit about him later, but anyway, he was a great builder of palaces. He saw that this leper hospital was sitting in beautiful countryside. It's hard to imagine now, but there were no buildings around. The nearest building was Westminster Abbey, which was way over.
My lens is dirty.
And he thought, this would be a great place to go hunting. Hunting park all around here. So he said, I think I'll have that hospital. Leopards out, king in. Okay? Out go the leopards. He built this palace. And from 1500 until 1837, this is the major residence of the kings and queens. And you'll still find that ambassadors are always accredited to the court of St. James, because St. James used to be the royal residence for so many years. So, Henry VIII is going to get on his horse here, and in a moment he'll be into the park. First of all, St. James's Park, which we're going to see now, then Green Park, which is beside Buckingham Palace, and Hyde Park, which we saw a bit of yesterday. So you can drive from one to the other for miles. There's quite an interesting story about Green Park. It's the only park that doesn't have formal gardens, formal flower beds. And that's why it's called Green Park. And apparently the story is that King Charles II, in the 1660s, he's walking in the park, he's left the palace, he goes walking. On one arm he has his wife. On the other arm,
Not the miss.
his mistress. Bad. Anyway, so he's walking through the park, and he said, oh, lovely flower. He bends and he picks a flower. Who does he give it to, his wife or his mistress? I'm afraid he gave it to his mistress.
Oh, my God.
What did his wife say? She said, that's it. No more flowers in Green Park.
Okay, now, off with their head.
Well, what's left? What's the house you gonna do? I'm right here.
Bye. See ya.
In 1837, Queen Victoria came to the throne. She was very young, and she reigned for 64 years. So the whole of the 1800s, all that busy imperial time, she was Empress of India. She was enormously powerful, and she had 9 children. She had a very happy marriage with Prince Albert. They had 9 kids. This place was too small for them, and so they moved into Buckingham Palace. She was the first monarch to live at Buckingham Palace, just down the road.
Was it already built at the time?
It was Buckingham House. It was the home of the Duke of Buckingham. It was bought by the king before Victoria, well, 2 kings before, who thought he'd have it as a family home. He had 15 children.
Wow.
But he never really lived there very much, so by the time it came to Victoria, she moved into Buckingham Palace, and ever since then, kings and queens have lived in Buckingham Palace. On the left-hand side in a moment, we'll see a big red brick house. That used to be the house of the Dukes of Marlborough. It's now the head of the Commonwealth. Now the Commonwealth is an association of countries who are all our former colonies. You know that England had a great empire in the 1800s, so India, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, massive tracts of Africa, all parts of the British Empire. As these countries got independence and self-government and so on, they decided to continue their links with Britain by forming a Commonwealth. So it's a sort of club, and the Commonwealth heads of state frequently meet, and that's their meeting place, Marlborough House. We're going to see other houses. Next door to this, attached to this, is a white house called Clarence House. The former Queen, the late Queen Mother used to live there. Now it's the residence of Prince Charles when he's in London. And we know whether he's there because if the royal standard is on the house, he's there. If the Union Jack, the red, white and blue flag is there, he's not at home. Okay? So it's this place, St. James's Palace, Clarence House. There's then a further house, which is a yellow stone house with columns, and that is Lancaster House, once the home of the Dukes of Lancaster, now used by the government for very special